card jumped out when he was bad-mouthing him to somebody. Diddy tried to play that big happy family card. What was Biggie's real feelings on P Diddy? What's up, my beautiful soul family? How's everybody feeling today? Um, we always thought that P Diddy and B.I.G was the best of friends. You know what I mean? Especially after Big died, P Diddy made it seem like he really just loved Big. That he was so close to Big. Big was like his right hand man. However, with Diddy being arrested within the last year or so, it's come to light that maybe P Diddy and B.I.G wasn't as close as P Diddy always tried to make it seem like they were. You know what I mean? Some people are even speculating that Diddy had something to do with Big's unaliving. I've already done a reading about how P Diddy actually felt about Biggie, but I want to see the other side of the table. What was Biggie's feelings on P Diddy? Did he feel like P Diddy was a friend? Did he feel like P Diddy was grimy? Did he feel like P Diddy was trying to end him? You know what I mean? Let's tap into Big's feelings, you know what I mean, and see how he felt. Now, of course, before I start this reading, I have to put out my disclaimer. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Everything I state in this video is just my interpretation of the cards. Nothing I state in this video has been proven to be fact as of now. So now that we got that disclaimer out the way, let's shuffle these cards and let's see what was Biggie's feelings towards Diddy. Alright, so let's pull the cards and let's see if we get the answers that we seek. Alright, so first of all, you got the Ace of Swords. You got the Knight of Cups reversed. Okay. A dude that had the gift of gab, but he was more so like a dude that abused his power, a dude like he was an ineffective boss. He felt like that had resources, you know what I mean? But he said had resources, that had money, but he was very quarrelsome, you know what I mean? He had issues with his mother. He used his wealth to dominate people. Mind you, this is Biggie's thoughts on P Diddy, how he felt about P Diddy. He always tried to disadvantage women. Let me see, this is how Biggie felt towards Diddy. He wanted to liberate himself from Diddy. This is what I'm seeing. Diddy tried to play that big happy family card, you know what I mean, in order to build the career and build the success. But I'm feeling like Big is ready to move on from Diddy. This is what I'm feeling like because he found Diddy to be. I feel like he didn't trust Diddy, and I feel like he felt like Diddy was pocketing too much of his money. He don't feel like he was making the money that he was owed, that was owed to him. Basically, Diddy was about getting rich. Diddy was a sneaky, ineffective boss. You know what I mean? Let me see here. Yeah, Diddy, he felt like Diddy was robbing him. This is what I'm saying, allegedly in the cards. I feel like Big wanted to move on in order to be satisfied and happy with what he produced, you know what I mean? He wanted to be liberated from P Diddy. He felt like that relationship, that business relationship needed to end with P Diddy. Like when Big really sat and analyzed it, Big felt like he was the one with the skill. He's the one who built Bad Boy, you know what I mean? And all P Diddy does, he just got the gift of gab, but he's like, I think he felt, ooh, this card jumped out. Look. He felt betrayed by Puff. Yeah, he felt betrayed by Diddy. Big felt betrayed by Diddy. Let me see here. I feel like, let me see here. He kept a lot of Big's money, but Big felt like he wasn't prospering. He had to move on from Diddy in order to, you know what I mean, be satisfied. He had to liberate himself from him and end ties with him in that business partner relationship because Diddy was a bit too quarrelsome and he was like, he's the type that abused his authority. I felt like he did faulty business deals. I don't feel like Diddy played fair, and Big knew that Diddy did not play fair. You know what I mean? He felt betrayed by Diddy. I think you got the Queen. He felt like Diddy was very spiteful, didn't know how to talk to people, was just very nasty sometimes. You know what I mean? You got the Judgment card. He was the type that he kind of he kind of peeped how Diddy was, and he kind of suspected some things, and I think he felt like what he suspected became a reality and stuff like that. Diddy lied to him about a lot of things, but now he seen him for what he was, and he knew he had to cut ties with him and leave Diddy. You know what I mean? Because Diddy was slandering him. It was things that Diddy, I'm not gonna say he was slandering Big, but I just felt like there was some threats that was probably made to Big, or something went on where he was like, it was a lot of lying, it was a lot of conniving, being sneaky and conniving, there was a lot of backbiting going on. He was bad mouthing him to somebody, which I'm saying Diddy was bad mouthing Big to somebody. He was talking trash about him to somebody. You know what I mean? I think these two fell out of favor. I don't think that they were able to resolve these issues. So Big felt like he needed to just get out while the getting was good. You know what I mean? Allegedly, what I'm seeing in the cards. Let me see what else is going on. Now, you guys see how Diddy always tried to make it seem like him and Big was just the best of friends. They were so tight. He just loved Big. That was his best friend. You know what I mean? And he's so hurt by what happened to him. Every time I do a reading on their relationship with each other, it's a lot of turmoil. I don't feel like Diddy actually. I think Diddy was lying to us a lot, but that's just my opinion. Like I said, my interpretation of the cards. Let me see here. The Wheel of Fortune, which was some kind of negative turn in circumstances, followed by the Five of Wands reversed. I think that he was collaborating with other people because he was trying to better his circumstances. He knew, he was going to try to build his career elsewhere, but he was keeping this a secret, you know what I mean? But he just felt like he needed to just make those moves because he had worked so hard for Bad Boy label, you know what I mean? And I think when he really sat there and gave it deep thought, he realized how much he was being robbed and how much Diddy was stolen from him. I don't get that this was some kind of a friendship. This is not what I'm getting. I'm feeling like he wanted to be independent, you know what I mean? And I felt like Diddy felt jealous because he wanted to be independent and expand out from Diddy. I think they started out friends, but then their friendship soured over Biggie's royalties and money and things like that. And I think that it got wind to P Diddy that Biggie was trying to leave him and trying to expand, and he felt like, oh no, we're not having that, we're not doing that. That you trying to go out on your own, you trying to leave, you know what I mean? He knew that was his meal ticket, so he was like, I'm not about to let you go. You know what I mean? I'm not about to lose out the competition. You're gonna either stay with me or you're gonna, you know what I mean? You're not about to walk away from me. We worked the collaboration. I built you. This is how Diddy felt when he got wind of that. But Biggie knew that he needed to distance himself from him, or at least this was his plan. It's not. So I think we've heard that before, and I don't think that that's a particular lie. I feel like, let me see here. He's trying to walk away. We got the hand in reverse, which is about basically, I think Diddy knew that his label would go down if Big walked away and made his own label and formed business partnerships with other people. He felt like, first of all, Biggie was his cash cow. Second of all, he felt like he spent a lot of money on Big, and this was a blow to his ego. You know what I mean? So I feel like Diddy felt like that fat MFer needs to be knocked down a peg or two, or how about all the way? You know what I mean? Let me see here. I feel like he said he spent up too much money on him, and then for him to want to go elsewhere, P Diddy felt like that was an injustice done to him. Like it was bad blood basically. It was a feud. It was bad blood between Diddy and Biggie. You know what I mean? I feel like Big felt like Diddy stole all of his creative ideas and tried to pass them off as his own, stole his work, didn't do his own work. Yeah, these two were not friends by the time Biggie died. There was a lot of things that was going on between them. P Diddy was ruthless. This is how Biggie seen him. He seen him as ruthless. He seen him as the type that make hasty decisions. That, you know what I mean, is a liar. Two-faced it. I actually feel like he thought that Diddy was two-faced it. You know what I mean? He didn't feel like he was going to progress much being under Diddy's label. He just felt like it wasn't going to work. There was disagreements about creative control between them. And I think Big felt like he needed to save himself because he finally seen Diddy for the ruthless, you know, dude that he was. You know what I mean? The one that, like I said, still creative control, tries to keep all of your money. You know, that guy. This is how he sees him. This was how he was seeing him. I think he once looked at Diddy as like this upstanding dude until he really started getting to know Diddy and seeing that Diddy was shady. Allegedly, what I'm seeing in the cards. Alright. So the last 4 cards, let's see what it is. He also seen Diddy as greedy, as selfish, as jealous and possessive, you know what I mean, stingy. Basically, he was this mean-spirited person that kept all of his money, made foolhardy decisions, act reckless, you know what I mean, and only was out for self. This is what I'm saying, and he wanted to get away from him. So I'm out of cards, so I'm going to end the reading now, but please tell me what you think. Do you think that Big saw Diddy in a favorable way, or do you feel like by the time that Biggie was unalived, he was trying to get away from Diddy, go out on his own, that way he can prosper better? Thank you, my beautiful soul family, for tuning in. I'll see you in the next reading. Love you, my babies. Have a good one.